Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Immigration Talk Show. I'm your host, Sam, and here's my co host, Nipasa Pradhan. And we are so happy to have you all here again on Daily Immigration Doors, streaming live at 4 p.m. EDT. And before diving into the topic, let me go ahead with the disclaimer first. Friends, by watching our videos, you agree and understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not a professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. And with that, hi Napasa, how are you doing?
Absolutely wonderful, Sam. And hi to all you folks out there. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Daily Immigration Dose on Immigration Talk Show. It's really lovely to have you all here. And we're going to have a very important discussion, as usual, an important update, and we have a discussion. So it's going to be what it is that only itself. And please feel free to join us. You can always comment wherever you're watching us, and you can also dial in this number. The number is 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988888. It's there on the screen above, so feel free to join. And yes, we are also going to be, updating you with some news updates. So before our discussion, and I think Sam, should I go first?
I think let me go first, and after that, you can carry on. But before diving into the news, friends, also make sure that we are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and on X. So go ahead and do let us know from which platform you guys have joined us. And you can also follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram as well. And lastly, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Migration Talk Show. Okay, let me go ahead with my news first, and then Napasa can follow me. So the news is very important. US cracks down on Chinese students. Harvard cotton visa security stall. So from Ivy League dreams to immigration trouble, today's story is big and very surprising. So what's going on, friends? That some top Chinese students in the United States, even at Harvard, are losing their visas. Yes, their visas are being revoked. But the question is why? Let's see. Because US officials says that some students might be helping the Chinese government by spying or sharing research. And what changed? The US now puts national security before student exchange. And Harvard is being accused of working with Chinese military schools. In fact, over 6,000 foreign students are stuck right now, and many of them are Chinese. Harvard took over $150 million from foreign groups, much of it from China. And now people are asking that was that safe? So the big picture is this isn't just about students, but it's also about safety, trust, and how schools are caught in a US China power fight. So this is the news from my side. And friends, do let us know what you think about this news update. Over to you, Nipasa.
Well, thank you so much, Sam. And my news update is also another very important one. And it's crucial, for Indian students out there who are planning to study in the US. So the Ministry of External Affairs, MEA, has urged the US to ensure timely, merit based issuance of student visas following reports that President Trump's administration has paused new visa interview slots for international students. So this move, first reported by the Guardian, has come as US embassies and consulates are directed to halt adding new appointments of F, M, and J visas, affecting thousands, especially from India as well, which sent over 330,000 students to the US in 2023 alone. And the delay is, reportedly linked to plans for enhanced social media vetting, where officials may now review applicants' activities, on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and X, formerly known as Twitter, as well, for security concerns. So, with Indian students contributing billions to the US economy, the MEA has made it clear that visas are a sovereign decision, but timely processing is vital for deserving students. So that is the update I wanted to give you folks out there. And stay tuned for more updates. Of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. So check us out and make sure you ring that bell as well so that whenever we have discussions and most important updates from US immigration, you're updated first. So, yeah, that said, I think, Sam, we should talk about our topic of discussion for today. It's going to be a very, very interesting one as well. And it's not just interesting, it's shocking, unexpected, but happening for sure. Because President Donald Trump's administration has reportedly set ambitious and, well, a new target rather, tripling the number of daily immigration arrests to 3,000, which is a big number. And, this directive reportedly pushed by top aside Stephen Miller, of course, and Homeland Security Secretary Christine Noem. And it's a part of a broader and a more aggressive enforcement approach which extends far beyond the borders. So I think, without further ado, we should get into it. And Sam, if you could tell us more about, the feasibility and operational challenges of the 3,000 arrests per day target.
Absolutely. And I think talking about this, it's very, I mean, we didn't have ever expected that 3,000 arrests per day is going to happen. So the
1,000
question is,
itself was so big, right,
huh,
for all of
right.
us.
But 3,000, it seems like too much. But anyways, I mean, let's figure out, friends, that, is it really possible? And if yes, if not, then what can be the challenges? So I think, according to me, if we talk about the looking at the current scenario, then I think it's very hard to do because ICE would need, more power, more people to carry out arrest, more detention centers to hold people, and also lots of money to support all this. Because Nipasa, when we talk about whenever we target any number, for example, if we have like 3,000 people, illegal people to arrest, so it's not only about the idea or the presentation or the blueprint. We should have resources, like we should have money, we should have officials, we should have detention centers spaces, we should have lawyers to look for the cases, and most importantly, we should have time. Because it's not only about just going on randomly and arresting anybody. We need to have a proper documentation, we need to have a proper checkout, we need to have those lawyers, we need to have those officials, ICE officials, again. So there are certain challenges. Let me go through one by one. Firstly, current arrest capacity is too low. Of course, if we talk about number, it is 750 per day. And increasing that number to 3,000, it seems like, quadrupling their efforts overnight. And that's not just hard, it's somehow next to impossible without massive changes. But if Trump's administration can do some massive changes, then of course, nothing is impossible for them. Next, lack of staff and officers. Absolutely. Because right now we have staff, we have officers according to 750 arrests per day. But if we are keeping a target of 3,000 per day, then we should also increase the number of officials and officers as well. Because more arrest requires thousands of new officers who should be trained and who should be hired. And, training and hiring takes money and takes time a lot. Next, detention space crisis. Absolutely. Because if there will be more arrest, it will be next to impossible to have those, illegal immigrants in one area. The detention space should be more, and ICE would run out of space fast. And that's why they're offering $45 billion in contracts to build or expand immigration jails. And even with that, buildings takes time and the infrastructure isn't ready yet. Next, legal bottlenecks. Absolutely. The immigration court system is already, overloaded with so many cases. And if you are going to arrest more people, then you need more judges, more lawyers, more translators, and more courtrooms to handle the legal process. And without it, I think people can get stuck in middle of their cases and they have to stay longer in detention center as expected. Next, cost to taxpayers. That's right, running large scale detention and deportation operations cost billions. And that money has to come from the federal budget, which affects other services like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. So I'll say in short, like if President Trump is targeting 3,000 arrests a day is not currently feasible without huge investment. Because if there will be huge investment, until and unless that will be there, then then only the process can go ahead and this target can be achieved. So, yeah, I think it's a plan that sounds bold on paper, but actually faces some serious world challenges. And what were the challenges? I have explained, Napasa. So, I think, yeah, these were the challenges and how much possibility can be, I have explained. So, if you can also let us know, Napasa, regarding psychological and cultural impact on immigrant communities, because that's also a very
Yeah.
important part to understand. Please go ahead.
For sure, Sam, for sure. And I'll just quickly say hello to Bhavik. Thank you so much for joining us here on YouTube. We are going to take up your comments very, very soon. Just stay with us. And please feel free to also dial in the number that's there on the screen above. And yes, the access code is also given. So join us and we can have a discussion. But coming to the point, Sam, like you were talking about the cultural and psychological impact on immigrant communities.
Mhm.
Yes, it already has a big one ever since January, I can say, and well, always. But beyond logistics, we have talked about, we have to talk about the psychological toll, such policies impose on immigrant communities. It's not just an individual, it's not just their family, but it's the whole community, and especially those in, non border areas that are now being targeted as well. It's not just in the borders anymore, and it's many migrants, undocumented, documented as well, who live with this constant fear of enforcement actions. The
Mhm.
new directive, as we have been discussing, it expands ICE's mandate beyond traditional hotspots to residential neighborhoods as well, schools, places of worship, and workplaces across the country. And this results actually in a big chilling effect, because families who put their children to schools also, or workers who are, avoiding healthcare facilities as well, and community trust in law enforcement, everything is being affected. And it's also fueling this sort of a racial profiling and discriminatory, policing. Well, of course, the entire communities feel criminalized based on their appearance or language. And this, I'm just talking about the effect that is happening, psychologically, personally, to many people out there belonging to different communities, but all immigrants. So, yes, and there is also entire communities who are feeling this, and there is social cohesion suffering. There are immigrant families, many of whom have lived in the US for years and years, generations even, and they live under this threat of separation.
Yeah.
So that is another big picture that's happening, where families are living with fear that they may be separated because of anything that could come up, a raid, a question, a little, how to say, a fault, which was probably even accidental. Well,
Mhm.
or something from the past which could just come and, be dug out, and it could have just been a DUI or something, but it could affect. Everybody's living in a fear like that. So such intense crackdowns, they're creating all this sort of trauma. And if you talk about children, especially, particularly the young adults, in mixed status households as well.
Mhm.
So while our President Trump's administration frames this policy as law and order, it may be widening social rifts, and even it's breeding, making huge this long-term distrust among immigrant populations. So this is what is happening. It's traumatic. It's living in fear of so many things, especially separation from their family,
Mhm.
and well, it's affecting communities out there.
It does, absolutely. And, if we are looking at the emotional perspective of the illegal immigrants, it does. And it feels so bad that they are going through so many things. But I will say that Nipasa, until and unless it's not according to immigration laws and policies, then they have to go with those
Yes.
turmoils that they are facing right now. So,
Right. Sooner or
yes.
later they have to face it. It's
Mhm.
just that 1,000 sounded so big and now 3,000. That means it's going to be action is going to happen even faster now. So I think folks out there who haven't thought about your documents, your status as yet, there's no point worrying too much, but it's better to act and play safe.
Absolutely. And that too, under this new administration, I'll say everything is happening so quickly and, very boldly the steps have been taken. So it's better, friends, that till now, whatever you have done, let's not, take it lightly. Just be strong and try to take things in a better way with the right path. And I hope so that everything will be better. And with that, I think Bhavik has a lot to say. So let's take up Bhavik's comment. Hi, Bhavik. Why don't you go ahead and dial up this number with the access code and join us right now on the live conversation? Instead of typing so much, you can directly have a chit chat with us. Okay, so he's saying that undocumented US immigrant has been arrested after he sent a handwritten letter to the government saying he planned to assassinate President Donald Trump, officials said. Oh my God. Then, thanks to our ICE officers, this illegal alien who threatened to assassinate President Trump is behind bars, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said in a statement. Such incident made things worse for immigrants. Oh my God, that's something very shocking and very new. Uh, Absolutely, I think these things are happening, and such incidents. Bhavik, absolutely agree with you, making the scenario for immigrants even worse. So don't know, what was he thinking and what psychological impact was he going through that he wrote this letter and saying all these things. But it's so shocking and it feels so bad that these are the things that's happening. But thank you so much, Bhavik, for letting us know about it. And do let us know more. If you have anything else, then please go ahead.
And well, we should have seen this. He should have seen this coming. I don't know why did he do that, but of course there would not be any other way. And threatening the president of the United States, and what was he thinking? I don't know. His state of mind, whatever. But thank you so much, Bhavik, for sharing with us this story of this person, this undocumented immigrant. And yeah, let's move on, Sam. So, would you like to share a little bit more on, maybe even how the One Big Beautiful Bill, we
Yeah.
had a discussion earlier in one of our episodes, and the role that it's also playing and adding up to this.
Sure, I will. And I would love to. And also talking about, Nipasa, it is very different and very interesting that some people are saying that if President Donald Trump is keeping this target, then there is also some political strategy behind it, and also somehow similar to the role of One Big Beautiful Bill. Now, let me put it up clearly that what people are thinking right now and why do people say, that this immigration plan might have a political angle. Now, some people are saying this because they think that public officials often make a big announcements or promises, to get support from voters. And they are saying that many voters want strict immigration rules like this, as how it's happening right now. And so, focusing on this, they can help, to get more votes. And saying some people are saying that when President Donald Trump is saying that we will arrest thousands every day, this sounds very strong, very bold, and decisive, and it sends a very strong message that the leader is very serious about the nation and very particular about the security of the nation. And big goals like this can also shape how people think about immigration and security, and this can help during their next election campaign as well. So people are also saying, Napasa, that when the administration are taking these steps, then there's also some political strategy behind it, and how the role of One Big Beautiful Bill goes with it. Let me tell you that, as it is a major immigration reform plan, we all know, friends, and it could also lead to stronger border security, quicker deportations, and new immigration rules that we have already talked about. And it's more of a slogan right now, not an actual law. Let me remind you that. So once people see the government taking action, they might be more open to supporting the big immigration reform. That is the One Big Beautiful Bill. So that's what people are saying, that if the administration is going to show so much trust and so much security towards the nation, then automatically they will be in the favor of the another bill, that is One Big Beautiful Bill. And so the tough enforcement and big reform plan work together as a strategy to get both security and better immigration laws. So this is what people have been saying, and we are here to present what people's view is there. So with that, Nipasa, if you can also let us know, international reactions and some diplomatic fallout.
Yes, Sam, and like the whole world, it's sort of being affected. Since we heard that there is also not going to be any more interviews for F students, right? For F visas for students, and it's affecting, it's backlashing, and there's so much happening, and no immigration policy is really existing in vacuum because what can I say? We are already seeing so much backlash, particularly from India as well, and we also, as I shared the news earlier before starting the discussion, that Ministry of External Affairs of India, has formally urged the US to issue student visas in a timely and merit based manner as well, following reports of delays and increased vetting because nobody wants to lose time. Time is very precious, especially for students. Not everybody can afford to have gap years or lose out on any of their investments on their education, right? And the worry is that visa processing may be sidelined by enforcing all these heavy priorities or more intense scrutiny of applicants, especially on social media as well. So these are delays that could affect thousands and thousands of Indian students who are planning to, pursue their higher education in the United States, and students who contribute significantly, by the way, to American universities and the economy as well. So it's not just India, but other countries are also watching closely. And there is aggressive deportation targets, visa vetting, and mass surveillance, and a signal to international community that really America can be prioritizing control over collaboration. So that is what is happening, and this could really impact the bilateral relations, academic exchanges, which we have been seeing for all these years so far, and even foreign investment, especially if international students and skilled workers feel unwelcomed. So this is one thing also, and there's another, that diplomacy often requires balance, right? And if enforcement overshadows engagement, well, the US actually risks damaging its global reputation as a land of opportunity,
Yeah.
um, because we have always heard, go live your American dream. It's a land of opportunity where ideas and innovation are respected, because not every country you can be creative and have a great idea, and that idea is you can shine on with that. But America is one such country who has been known for that itself, for so many decades and centuries now. So I don't know. What can I say?
Absolutely. I mean, right now, most of the people, they are, thoughtless. They are not able to think. They are not able to process what to do and what's going to happen. But friends, I think the only suggestion we can give you right now is just to stay updated, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but at least we should know what's going to happen today. And for that, we are here. So make sure that you subscribe to Immigration Talk Show, and we are definitely going to let you know, regarding latest update in immigration world. And with that, Mansi is also here. So I think, Nipasa, you can go ahead and take up Mansi's comment here.
Sure, Sam. And Mansi says the Trump administration has told immigration officials to ramp up arrests to 3,000 per day with a goal of more than 1 million a year. Right, Mansi, we have been, discussing this, and it's shocking, crazy, and very, very overwhelming. So many things happening at the same time, hard to digest, I can say. And White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson said in a statement that we are committed to aggressively and efficiently removing illegal aliens from the United States and ensuring our law enforcement officers have the resources necessary to do so. The safety of the American people depends upon it. And yes, it's very true, Mansi. Sooner or later, this was happening. Now it's just that the number has increased. President Trump and his administration, they are expecting quicker results. I'm sure that is why the numbers are getting bigger. So I think yes, we had this coming anyway, but it's just going to happen faster, and I'm
Mhm.
sure there's going to be more, well, border officers, more customs officers, ICE officers, who are going to be hired or more, multiplied in numbers so that this happens and the administration sees that it happens quicker. So, yes, Mansi, thank you so much for your input as well. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. To all you folks out there watching us, subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And check us out not just here on YouTube, but we are also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Instagram. So stay connected with us for the latest updates on US immigration.
That's right. And with that, I think Nipasa, it's almost the end of our session. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, guys, for being here and the time that you have invested. Really appreciated. So thank you so much, and do join us tomorrow again, same platform at 4 p.m. EDT. I'm Sam with my co-host Nipasa. Will be coming back tomorrow with another very exciting topic. And why don't you go ahead and let us know, what topic you would like to suggest us for tomorrow's webinar? We would love to have that. And also make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Immigration Talk Show. In case if you have any queries regarding any topic or anything about immigration journey, then please go ahead and you can also share me on my email address, that is sam@staffingme.com, and you can also email to Nipasa at nipa@staffingme.com. So, with that, thank you so much, guys, for being here. Good luck, stay informed, and stay safe, and keep watching Immigration Talk Show.
Bye, everyone.